Hey there, Autism Fitness founder, leading the movement for movement, Eric Chessen here, and this is part two, or do, which I don't think anybody says anymore, but the movie Hot Shots Part Do, fantastic. Haven't watched it in a while. Anyway, part two of Autism Fitness Programming 101, and this works whether you're working one-to-one programs or group class programs in the adapted PE or group fitness space with autism and neurodivergent individuals. So, thing number one that we covered last time was putting exercises into phases. So, we have warm up, we have mobility and dynamic movement, which is often the most questionable one. And then we have strength and strength endurance, which is going to be the most important. So then we ask, how many exercises do we need in each block or in each phase? And what we're looking at is movement pattern by movement pattern, and then looking at the muscles that are working for that movement pattern. What do we want to accomplish? And we have general and we have specific goals when we're just talking about the movement itself. So the physical aspect of physical, adaptive, and cognitive, of course, that's the PAC profile, and that's what you get in the level 1 certification. So with warm-up and mobility, what we want to do, the two primary movements that we want to look at are mobility based. So we want hip flexion, and of course, by way of that, we want hip extension, but we want hip flexion, and then we want, in many cases, we want an increase in shoulder or arm extension and some shoulder mobility. Most cases, because when we have a hypermobile individual, we want to be wary of adding movement to that. So the idea of, oh, we should get more flexible and we should stretch more and we should get more mobile, it's going to depend. Right? So the exercises that we want to include in that warm-up and mobility section are going to be those that increase safely range of motion, flexibility, and have some locomotion to them, meaning getting from point A to point B. So we're looking at exercises like hurdle steps. We're looking at overhead band walks. We're looking at the bear walks and crawls, which are kind of their own category altogether because that's also a strengthening exercise. The bear walk occupies a very interesting space. And the key with warm-up exercises, we don't want to spend too much time here. Warm-up is just warm-up, and this is true also for the autism and neuroadaptive population as well. So when we're looking at how many sets, how many reps, we want to keep it around 1 to 2 sets. We do not want to spend a lot of time here. Right? So then we go to our power-based exercises. And we have in Autism Fitness Program, we have our medicine ball throws, we have our sandbell slams, and we have our rope swings. So in these, we also have to ask, how much is the athlete actually getting out of that power base if they don't have the strength base as well? Which is why we spend more time in strength. Generally speaking, again, this programming 101, we want to take 2 or 3, at most 4 power exercises and do a few more sets of those, maybe 2 to 4 sets total, depending on how much time it takes the athlete to perform those exercises and to get done and take a break and come back to it. So you've gotten through warm up and mobility and then your power section, and we're spending the most of our time because it's going to be the most crucial to developing those ADL skills and developing the foundation for everything else movement-wise to strength and stability. And this is where we have our squatting, our pushing, our pulling, our carrying. And when we're looking at this from the perspective of exercise selection, the exercises, and again, this is all stuff that we cover in the Autism Fitness Level 1, the exercise selection is already there for us. The question is, how do we scale it? And then how many quality sets and repetitions can we get in for our athletes? In most cases, let's say 99% of cases, we want to have more time, meaning more sets and more repetitions with the same exercises. So maybe 4 to 6 strength exercises, one of each category. So we have a squat, we have a push, we have a pull, we have a carry. And this in itself can make up a great fitness program for anybody. This would make a great general fitness program, more so for our autism and neuroadaptive population. So with respect to the exercise selection, it's not about we need to find the right exercises. Those exercises are already there. Strength and sports science have demonstrated that those exercises are already there. We squat, we push, we pull, we carry. We don't have to invent new exercises. What we do have to maintain is integrity of the movement, and that's why it is so much more important / effective to pick 4 or 5 exercises and do 4 to 6 sets of those exercises versus, hey, let's do a dozen different exercises because more equals better. More does not almost ever equal better. So as a general rule, again, programming 101, warm-up phase, 2 to 3 exercises, 1 to 2 sets. Power exercises, 2 to 3 exercises or 2 to 4 exercises, 2 to 3 sets. And then strength, 4 to 6 exercises with anywhere from 4 to 6, even 7 sets, depending on that athlete. And that is part 2 of programming 101. So it's not so much finding, we need to find all these new innovative exercises. We don't. All the really good exercises have already been discovered. And so it's implementing them at the current ability of that athlete or of those athletes. And that is part 2 of programming 101. I am still Eric Chessen, founder of Autism Fitness, last I checked. And if you are ready to become part of the Movement for Movement and get on your Autism Fitness Level 1 training, then head on over to autismfitness.com. You can register and start your coursework today.